great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. This is episode number 510 of the Immigration Answer Show. Can you believe it? My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration attorney, and I will be with you for the next 60 minutes or so, trying to answer as many of your immigration law-related questions as I can. Thank you all for joining us. Hope all is well with you. We got a little snow last night here in St. Louis, so that was sort of a pretty morning. Luckily, a lot of it didn't stick, so it's all good. Good to see everybody. I wanted to show you, for those of you who haven't seen it, this is our New Year's card. So here's the whole family. There's Amani, the Nornator. That's yours truly. That's Ibrahim. He shaved for that. This was at my niece's wedding in Ann Arbor earlier this year. That's Yusuf. That's Ismail. So Ismail is going to graduate, inshallah, from San Diego State in May. So I'll be spending some time in San Diego this year. I did wear it. Rocio, I wore the sweatshirt, and I will reply to your email. I wore the sweatshirt last Monday. It's at the office. Today I'm at home. I love the sweatshirt, and I love showing everybody the quotes from it. How is everybody doing? Carolyn's here. Rocio's here. We got Lagos, Nigeria in the house. Nurse Laura is here all the way from Seattle. Spicy Ray. Spicy Ray's wondering if Ibrahim likes the Minnesota Vikings. He liked the Minnesota Vikings, Ray, before he got there. So my best friend Brent, who I had a nice time talking to today, he has a lake, or he lives on Lake Minnetonka. And because Brent's my best friend and he would come to visit me and we'd go visit him, Ibrahim has loved him and Minnesota ever since. He roots for the Timberwolves, not so much the Twins, but the Timberwolves and the Vikings. So we went to a Vikings game for his birthday. We usually go to one Vikings game a year with Brent, so he's all in. We saw the Vikings lose to the Chargers this year. I thought the Chargers were going to be a lot better this year. Robert probably has some thoughts about that. I'm going to be here for the full hour trying to answer your immigration questions. I'm excited about it being Saturday. Everyone's wondering where Shabazz is. I'm imagining that Shabazz has had some movement on his immigration case, so he doesn't need to bother old Jim. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think, Vadim? That's what I think. Usually people call me when things are going bad, not when things are going good. All right. Hope saying thanks for taking time to educate you guys. Good. Well, the boys, Hema and Yusuf and I are batching it this weekend. So Amani and Noor are up in Kansas City for softball. Ismail's either in Texas with his girlfriend or he's in San Diego already. I think he's still in Texas. So the boys and I are going to go see a movie tonight and hang out. So that'll be fun. Robert knows what's what. Those stupid Chargers, they just need to move to St. Louis. That's what really needs to happen. That would be really great. I don't know why anyone would want to play second fiddle to those goddamn Rams. All right, let's say hi to Samson. Samson was here first, so let's see what Samson has to say. Hi, Samson.
Hello.
How you doing?
Fine, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for coming on. What can I do for you?
So my name is Samson. I'm from Tanzania. I came to the US in 2018 with a B1, B2 visa. I overstayed my visa 6 months, maybe 7 months after I came to the US. I did apply for asylum. I was called for the interview a few months later, like 2 months. The interview did not go well, so they sent my case to the immigration court here in Phoenix, Arizona. I went to see the immigration judge 3 years later. That was in May of 2022. So I went over there. I do have an attorney that I've been with him from day one. So we went to the immigration judge. The hearing took almost 2 hours, and I got denied. After I got denied, he put me on deportation. Then we decided to appeal the case. So we appealed the case. Before 30 days, I was able to renew my work permit, and at the same time, I was going to nursing school. So the case was pending. Then while I was in nursing school, I met my wife. So that was May when I got denied. Then I met my wife around September. Then few months later, I had just to be honest with her with my situation, and she was willing to get married. So we got married. Her family was there. My friends, because I don't have family in the U.S. We got married, and we filed a very strong case, meaning that in terms of supporting documents and other stuff. So we filed the I-130 form last year, 2023, on January 18. And at the same time, the asylum case was pending. So we filed the I-130 and also.
You mean the appeal was pending?
The asylum, because I told you that they put me on the petition, so we had to do the appeal for the asylum.
So you said the asylum case was still going because the asylum case was over. It was on appeal. You'd already been ordered deported.
Yeah. They ordered the petition at that after the immigration judge said no to your asylum. So
I just want to be clear. You were ordered deported before you got married.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So when I got married, my attorney said we have to file something called a motion to remand, kind of like to return the case to Phoenix from the BIA.
Right.
So we did file those documents. We also filed for the I-130, but since then we haven't heard anything, and it's been a year now. Mm-hmm. I'm still married with my wife. We're still together. We're still collecting a lot of supporting documents because we live together. We have the bills. We have bank accounts. We travel a lot. So, because my wife, she works for a Boeing company, so we do travel a lot. So we do have a lot of documents, but we haven't heard anything. And at this point, I don't know what is the next step because I saw some of your videos. You say you can sue the government, but at the same time, I don't know what to do. Like you can sue the USIS, but I don't know. Like I'm much worrying with BIA more than the USIS because I know that maybe we can sue USIS, but I don't know what to do with the BIA because I called them a few months ago. I spoke to them and they said,
you want the BIA to take as long as they possibly can. You want to sue them on the I-130 to get a decision on that, and so then you can supplement your request to remand and reopen. You don't want the BIA to do anything until you get that I-130 approval notice.
Yeah, and do you think maybe how long should I stay before go ahead and sue the USIS? Because that's the thing, because it's only 1 year right now. So I don't know if I have to wait another year or what should I do while I'm waiting to hear back from them? Because last time when we filed, they said we're gonna give the decision. You know the time frame they give you. They say 8 months. Then 8 months pass. We checked like 2 days ago. It says 3 months. But I'm not even believing it because every single time it keeps changing, but it's not true.
So what's the actual receipt date on the I-130?
I-130 receipt date is January 18, 2022.
So I would sue them on January 19th, 20, you mean 2023?
2023, yes, sir. Sorry, 2023.
So I would sue them on January 19th, 2024.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I mean, we could get started now. I mean, you need that I-130 is the only thing that's saving you, because if that deportation order gets affected, they can put you, start the actual deportation. So I think you don't have time to mess around. I would get soon. I mean, it's not a straightforward I-130 case because you were already ordered removed, which means you have a very, I'm not saying you did this, but you have a very high incentive to come up with a fake marriage, right? Because that's the only thing that's going to save you. So I think, and you're talking Phoenix?
Yes, I'm in Phoenix.
Yeah. So you should email me now and say, Jim, I want to sue them next week, or I want to get ready to sue them and get it out the door so that you can get that thing. Then you and your attorney can take it back to the BIA, back to the DOJ attorneys, and try to get them to slow things down.
And where can I get our information, like your email or the phone number to call if I want to?
I can put it over here. Yeah, just send an email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. I'll put it on the screen. Just give me a second.
Okay. And for my work permit, because I renewed my work permit last year in March, and they just give me extension for 540 days, I believe. So I do have my work permit, kind of like the extension that I have until end of this year, 2024. After that, I'm not going to have my work permit yet, and I haven't heard anything. And remember, at that time, when I applied for that work permit, was through the asylum pending the pending appeal. So now I don't know if I do have to. And my attorney said, "Oh, you don't have to apply for another work permit through your marriage until your I-130 go through."
You can't. Not that you shouldn't. You can't. The I-130 doesn't give you the right to a work permit. So get the I-130 moving. Then hopefully you can terminate or file the green card application with work card. But nothing's going to happen until that I-130 is approved.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Thanks, Samson.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, buddy. All right. Jean-Jacques is here. Hello, Jean-Jacques.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you, sir.
Same to you, my friend.
Thank you. Sir, can I be off the camera if you don't mind?
Jean-Jacques, you are off the camera. Go for it.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, sir. So I have a question regarding my wife's travel. She came to this country in 2014, and she's been living here, but she has made multiple trips back home, and now she's trying to find out if she'll be eligible to apply for citizenship. The last time she traveled, she was out for about 9 months. That was in 2019, from March to December 2019, and then since then she came, but she made another trip in June to July of 2021. She was out for 2 weeks, and now she wants to find out when she can be eligible to apply for citizenship.
Okay. So the first thing, so whenever you apply for citizenship, there's two main questions. One, is she's applying as married to a U.S. citizen, or she's applying on the 5-year rule?
On the 5-year rule.
So the question is, during the last 5, on the day that she files, you look back 5 years and you ask yourself, did you spend at least 2 years, 6 months, and a couple days in the United States? More than half. So more than half of the last 5 years, did you reside in the United States? That's question number one. Sounds like we're okay there, right?
Yes, she was. I don't know if we'll have to consider the 2 weeks she was out of the United States, because she went out.
But it's only half. It's only half. So you take 365, which is how many days there are in a year, multiply that by 5, and then cut that in half.
Mm-hmm.
So the question, so let's say she applied tomorrow. So 365 times 5 is 1825 divided by 2, which means she needs 913 days. 913 days in the United States in the last 5 years. If she had a 2-week trip and a 9-month trip, she's totally fine on that front, right?
Yes, sir.
So now the other question is, has she had any trips of more than 6 months in the last 5 years? And she did.
Yes, sir.
So the big problem there is that they will probably say that she abandoned her residency during those 9 months, and she broke the continuous residency for purposes of citizenship. So what was the day that she came back? Now you can overcome that if you have lots of evidence, like I kept my job, I kept my house, I kept my property. But if she didn't have a lease, if she didn't have a job, that's going to be hard. And a lot of times we just tell people, let's wait to file so that we don't even have to have that argument, right? So tell me the day that she came back to the United States from that 9-month trip.
She came back on December 5th,
What year?
2019.
So perfect. So December 5th, 2019. So she can apply 4 years and 1 day later, which would be 2023. So I mean, before I tell you for sure, I'd want to look at all the dates and everything. But based on what you're telling me, I think she can apply right now for citizenship.
Okay. Yeah. So the 2 weeks she made in 2021 does not matter.
No, why do you get so hung up on that 2-week trip? The 2 weeks, everybody can go. You can go as long as you want, as long as it's not 6 months. Why do you keep asking me about the 2 weeks?
Yeah. I mean, I just felt like since she had done a longer trip of 9 months, and then counting the 4 years and 1 day, she was like supposed to have been residing, not going out of the United States for 4 years and 1 day.
Yeah, but it doesn't reset just because you take a 2-week trip. It's still just the 4 years and 1 day.
Okay.
It's not like a jail sentence where you have to stay in the United States.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Jean-Jacques. See you, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Nice day. You got it. All right. Wanted to touch on a couple things in the text. Nurse Laura was happy that we did a weekend show because she's got some hangout time on the weekends when she's the nurse on duty. That's always fun. Spicy Ray wanted to know, hey, Jim, that's great to hear about your son, but the immigration office in Minnesota, in terms of suing them, there's a very interesting U.S. attorney up there. He's sort of a stickler, but I do like him. So he's not he's sort of so in Minnesota, I'm not admitted, I don't think, to the court outright. So I have local counsel. So he's sort of a stickler on making sure everybody signs everything. But they get moving on cases when you sue in Minnesota. They don't mess around. I'm happy to sue up there. Rob is also from Minnesota. Devondre likes the way I say Jean-Jacques. It's because I'm reading Les Miserables, and so I'm listening to all the French dialects and words. It's a 65-hour book. It's 1,500 pages. It's great. I'm 2/3 done, and I'm absolutely loving it. Tori's here. Hello, Tori.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. And also, I love that you're in St. Louis because I went to college there. So I'm a big.
Where'd you go?
I went to SLU.
Nice. That's where I went. Very nice.
Oh my gosh, really? Oh, that's exciting. I didn't know that.
What did you study?
Public health.
Oh, yeah. SLU's great on public health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but basically, I was born in the U.S., but I have Colombian citizenship through my parents. And when I visit Colombia, I enter with my Colombian passport. If I don't enter with my Colombian passport, it's a $300 fine if I enter with my U.S. passport, with the Colombian government, obviously. My fiance is Colombian, and we are hoping to do a marriage-based green card path. What I was wondering is when we have our civil ceremony in Colombia, should I be getting married with my Colombian citizenship, like identification, or should I be using my U.S. information?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So how will that tie?
Do whatever's easier or cheaper.
Okay. So how will that tie together then when we do the marriage-based green, when we do the I-130? Like, how will they connect our marriage license with my Colombian information to like my US identification?
Here's the great thing. There's only one Tori Martinez. She's not two people. So nobody gets into the whole, how did she enter, which passport did she use as identification to get married? It's just, as long as we can tell from the marriage certificate that it's you, nobody's going to dig into what passport you use to identify yourself to officials to get the marriage license.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. I was so stressed about that. So I really appreciate your help, and I love the show. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thanks, Tori. Good luck.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Yeah. So that's a funny story about entering with the other country's passport. You know, my wife and I went to Egypt one time. The first time we went, we used Cairo as our base of operations, and we went to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and to Mecca and Medina, and then we went back to Egypt, and then we went to Jordan, and we went back to Egypt. So when we came back to Egypt the third time, it was like 2 a.m. Maybe the first time from Jeddah. It was like 2 a.m. And I, of course, was entering on my American white boy passport, and Amani was trying to enter on her Egyptian passport, and her birth certificate, it looks like it's in pencil, right? It's like almost handwritten. And the CBP, well, not CBP, but the Egyptian border patrol person wouldn't let Amani in without her paying the $30 fee to come in as an American. She was so mad. It's freaking 3 a.m, 2:30 in the morning. I'm exhausted. I'm like, dude, just pay the $30. It might not have even been $30. It might have just been 30 pounds, which is like $5. But she was so outraged about having to use or pay the American fee that when we went back with the kids, she insisted on this whole convoluted thing where they can be Egyptian as the child of a woman, which didn't used to be the law in Egypt. So let me put it to you this way. Every time Amani goes into Egypt, it's a big old fight, and everybody's just rolling their eyes, being like, dude, just pay. Just pay, dude. All right. Oh, look who's here. Monashi's back, and she's like, hey, Jim, did you do that research? Hey, Jim. Hey, Jim, what's up with that pilot program? That's why she's here.
Yes,
All right.
but I'm back now. How are you, Jim?
Now, just so you know, I did what I said. So I think you came on Monday. On Tuesday on the Tuesday show at the bottom of the hour. So like at half hour mark on Tuesday, I went through the whole thing, but I'll give you the long and the short of it.
Okay.
The pilot program as it stands right now, where they're just testing us in the next couple months, it's only for people who got their visas from India or Canada. That's it. For now, they're just testing it out. So unless you got your H-1B visa from, and it's only H-1Bs from Canada or India in this little time frame, then you can't take advantage of the pilot program. They might expand it after they test it, but who the hell knows?
Oh, okay, that's fine. Then the other thing that I wanted to ask, is it because I was on the J1 visa, right? Then I didn't have to go back home. Then I switched to H1B.
Hold on, just real quick. You're saying your J1 was not subject to that rule, or you got a waiver for that rule?
Oh no, I didn't. I'm from Zimbabwe, so there was no 2-year rule.
Got it.
Yes. So they processed my papers for H1. Then I got my H1B and started working immediately after the program. So I wanted to find out that is there a possibility that since I have the H1 and I have to, let's say I go back home for the visa interview, is there a possibility of the visa being rejected?
Yes, that's why we're all hopeful that the stateside stamping becomes a thing, because if you watch this show for any length of time, once a month somebody comes on the show and says, hey, Jim, my name's Zubair, and I went back to India to get my visa stamped, and I had my appointment. I dropped off my passport, and then they put me in administrative processing, and now I've been stuck outside the United States for 6 months. And then sometimes they lose their job, or they lose, the ability to come back anytime soon. So yeah, that's the whole shoot match. That's why I thought you were hopeful, and why I am hopeful that the stateside stamping becomes a thing, because the embassies like to cause mischief, and they like to revisit the issue of whether the H-1B was properly granted. And just so you know, I told you that you would not have been eligible for that program because you're not from India. You don't get your stamp from India or from Canada. There's another reason. So they, under the pilot program, which I think will probably be part of the general rule, the first time you get a stamp, you're going to have to go to the embassy. This would only work for people who had already gotten a stamp. It wouldn't work for people that switched from a J1 to an H1B, or an F1 to an H1B. At least the way it stands now, it would only be for people who've been on like multiple H1Bs and have already been vetted and have already been extended.
Okay. So is there
Yeah,
any
you should
way
be worried. You should be worried about leaving.
Yeah, so I'm not actually worried now. I'm actually scared of going back home. I miss I miss going
Yeah,
back
but
home.
here's the thing. It's that classic thing that we talk about on the show all the time, which is small chance of a problem. But
Okay.
my question to you is, let's say that happened. Let's say you went back home, you had an appointment at your embassy, and then they didn't give you the visa, and you were stuck outside the United States for 60 days. What would happen?
I won't be able to come back, and that will be the end.
Could you work or no?
Definitely not.
So then you got to start thinking about waiting till you get your green card or waiting to see if they expand this pilot program. But right now, not so good.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you so much.
Hi, Munasha. See ya. I was ready for it this time. This time I was ready. Haha, last time I wasn't ready. She caught me slacking last time. So this time I was ready. Pio's here. Hello, Pio.
Hey, what's up, Jim?
How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I watch your show all the time, but I never had like the courage to come on and
Well, I'm glad you're here.
but now I was like I finally did it. So I've been with my now fiance for 3 years.
Mhm.
We got engaged last July, and now we're kind of like in that process of coming up with like the party and like seeing like how we're gonna afford like the wedding, etc. My thing is I'm out of status,
Mhm.
and based on like how much our families can pitch in to help us and like how much money we can bring in for the party, we're probably looking at having the wedding at like 2025 or something like that, beginning of 2025. My thing is with the elections coming and me being out of status, I'm afraid that we're taking too much of a risk in from now until we have the wedding. But at the same time, I don't know if it's because we're having such a like we're planning a huge or not a huge but like a sizable wedding. That's gonna help our case instead of just like getting married now and getting that done with.
Okay.
I don't know if
First thing I want to understand, just so that we're all on the same page. When you say out of status, did you have a visa and overstay, or did you come across the border when you were like a kid?
yeah. No, I had a F1
Okay. So how long have you been out of status?
since 2022
Okay.
when I
So
after I graduated.
everybody's chiming in, and they all know me. They all know already, Pio, what I'm going to say. So we'll first go to Nurse Laura. Nurse Laura says, "Dude, get married behind the Taco Bell tomorrow. Do your big wedding later." That's what she did. So she got married behind the Taco Bell. H&M, also a longtime viewer. Go to the courthouse, get married, and have a party later, brother. And Rocio, just do a courthouse wedding for now. So they're all right? So how long have you known this person that you're going to marry?
For a while. So my story goes way back here. I just didn't want to take too much time, but I came initially with an F2. And then I met her through her brothers because I was friends with them for a while in high
Hold on.
school when I came
F2
here
with your parent? F2 with your parents or somebody else?
with my mom.
Your mom was on an F1 and you were on an F2.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was in 2015, and then
Yeah.
once I graduated high school here, which was only 2 years,
You got your
we
own
went
F1.
back because we went back to Brazil. I'm from Brazil. We went back to Brazil, and then later on I applied for a F1 to come back and do university here.
Mhm.
And then that happened, but I already knew her from high school. Like I already had friends here. And then I came
So
back
you've known each other.
2018.
So just to be fair, you've known each other for 8 years.
Yes.
8 years. Now, you know that we get some people on this show who get married after knowing each other for 8 minutes. So 8 years is great. So I can tell that you're anxious about all this. Don't be anxious. You can get your green card. This is all fine. You mean a courthouse wedding followed by a nice dinner with the people that you love who come to that marriage? That's plenty. With this long history that
I
you
know.
have.
It's just the
Go
thing
ahead.
is, it's just like because I like I have to like I don't want to because she wants this. She wants the wedding. Her family wants the big wedding too, and I'm fine with that. But it's just like that's why I'm like I'm a little bit like worried that we're taking too much of a risk of just wait, and we're religious too, so we don't want to like they don't want us to just get married right now like that instead of just having a ceremony. And it's a really complicated thing, and I just nobody really knows much about immigration as much as like I do, because you know they
Yeah.
don't have to, they're US citizens. But so it's
So
hard for me to like
how about this? How about if you and I talk to your fiance, even if you're never going to hire me, I'll be happy off camera to talk to the two of you, to put her at ease and explain to her what it is that's important. And then you guys don't have to hire me or anything, but I'd be happy to talk to her and help her understand your situation. And then we just go from there.
oh, that would be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
And I mean, well, okay, we'll talk about other stuff later, but yeah, I'd be happy to do that. So my contact information is right there. Just send me an email. Say I'm Pio from Brazil. I was on the Saturday show, and I want to. My fiance and I want to talk to Jim. It'll probably be next week or at the end of this week. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
And my name
Pio.
is Pedro. I just put that. That's my nickname. But yeah.
Yeah. Just if so on the weekends I get the info
Right.
at
Thank
email.
you,
So
Jim.
just send it to me. All right, buddy. See ya
Okay. Thank you.
later. A lot of good advice. Yeah, we should have a wedding on here. I told Amani that I wanted to get my my certificate or whatever so that I could do marriages. Timmy says, by the power invested in Pineapple Lemon by Jim. Yeah. Pineapple Lemon's going to do the marriage. That'd be fun. No, I wanted to do, we have the little stampy thing that you use to cut the photos for passport photos. So we could be a one-stop shop. You come and you get married. We do your immigration paperwork. It'd be something else. Now, Monty gets really mad when I say, that's just so disrespectful of everything that we do here. You guys know I studied to be a priest, so this would all be in line if we had done that. So if I had been able to do marriages, I would really like to do marriages. I think it'd be fun. But Monty gets really mad when I say these crazy things. Lots of good advice from everybody. Thank you. That was good stuff. Temmy's here. What's up, Temmy?
How you doing, boss?
How you doing, man? Happy
Good,
Saturday.
good. Happy weekend.
For sure.
Please, I wanted to help one of my friends. I think they have a little complicated issue. So they filed for the asylum, and the asylum was transferred to court, and the court on the final hearing, the lawyer messed up and he got another lawyer. So the another lawyer that he have negotiate with the government to terminate the procedure. And he told
the visiting lawyer or the lawyer that screwed up, the lawyer that took over or lawyer that
the lawyer that took over. He said that
hey, just real quick, Timmy, real quick. Everyone's debating in the comments. They think like you're out giving legal advice after talking to me, but you're not doing that, right?
No, never. Come on. I'm a security officer.
He's got a real job. He's got a real job. He just has lots of friends.
I mean, I work with the government. My first job, second job, I work in the store. So I'm a security officer. So
have you guys seen the picture of Timmy with Biden over his shoulder in the picture? So yeah.
So
okay.
And
so hold on, let me just get it. So asylum lawyer handling case, then he gets his individual hearing, and then new lawyer comes in and says, hey, let's terminate the proceedings.
Yeah, because he said he have a good case, but there's no way he can be able to prepare to defend him, that he will terminate the procedure, then he will refile again. So he agreed with the guy and they did the same thing. So now the same new lawyer begin to delay to do the filing. So to cut the story short, finally after 6 months, 6 or 8 months, he filed it. Then they took it in. He did mistake by using the old form to file the asylum. They return it. Then he correct himself. So now the case is that the guy is waiting for the working permit, because when the lawyer filed the working permit, he said he don't need to pay because this is a fresh asylum they are referring. They reject it, that they need to pay. Then the guy paid the money. Then the lawyer do mistake. I don't know what happened. According to him, they said the money is not complete, but the guy paid him complete. Then finally he did everything. So now the guy has been waiting, I think, since September. So I wanted to help him to ask how many months he need to wait for the working authorization.
How long will it take?
Yeah. Finally, the last one that they did to send it back, they say everything is okay, was September 29.
Yeah, so probably 6 or 7 months. It's going to
Oh,
take a while.
6 to 7 months.
It's a lot of moving parts because he was in removal, then he filed for asylum, then it got rejected. So it's just a sort of a mess.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for all your information. And one thing, to be honest with you, I'm really, it's not that I'm mad with you before, but sometimes before I used to look, why Jim always talk to Nigeria like this? Why Jim? So one day you come by yourself on the show, you say, no, it's not that I hate Nigeria, but a lot of mess up this. I was so happy that very day. It was last year. I never said it. So I like the way you now be doing with us. You know, a lot of things, I can say this one boldness, that in my country, there's a lot of corruption. But however, many people think that everybody said that they are Nigeria. They are Nigeria. No. That's one thing people don't get, I'm going to say on the here today. Before, our passport is very easy because of corruption to get. So most of people from the around us get our passport, claim Nigeria, do a lot of things, fraud with it. I'm not saying Nigeria is not doing the fraud, but most of them, they are not really from Nigeria. So make people to think that, oh, everybody is Nigeria, this, that. But until they're close to them, they will see a lot of things that is happening. But thank God now, the ECOWAS passport is not something that you can afford. So they'll go a little background of you.
Let me ask you a question. So I read this article in Inc. magazine. Have you heard of Inc. magazine? It's like about business. And they were interviewing this very successful Nigerian fellow who came to America and he started a business. I don't remember the business or anything, but he had a quote in there that has stuck with me. He said, he was Nigerian, and this is what he said about Nigerian men. I might have told you this before. He said, if I need to get into a house and the front door, I knock on the front door, nobody answers, and the door's locked, and I can't get in, then I'm going to look in the window. Can I get in the window? No, I can't get in the window. If I can't get in the window, then I'm going to dig a hole underneath to see if I can get in the house. Just like they're never going to give up. They're never going to give up, and they're always going to push. Does that sound right?
Exactly. What I think, I can say the colonize, and again, I can say the slavery, something I don't want to go to, not to delay, but Nigeria never give up in anything what they are doing. I think that is where we are raising. Like the way they said here, a woman here, like they had like a man. So, to struggle to be like a man, not in back home, woman didn't do all those kind of things. Here you see a woman that is driving trailer, doing mechanic, doing kind of things, because they make it to know that it's not only man can do it, men can do it. So in another way, Nigeria believe that when they are pursuing anything, they don't give up. They don't give up. Many people pass through a lot of dangerous way before they get into where they are going. So I think so.
All right, buddy. I'll see you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, boss. Thanks.
Have a good day. Yep. All right. That's our friend. Now, Positive Energy says that they were the first person here in the studio. So keep trying, Positive Energy, and then let me know in the comments what your what your name is in the waiting room, because a lot of times it doesn't match. KK is here. Hello, KK. KK, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry.
It's okay. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Thank you for everything you do for us, Jim.
Sure.
I wanted to ask you about something. There's a gentleman who came here yesterday asking about criminal records, and you say he was asking about translations, and he was saying you said something that you don't submit criminal records with your I-485.
Well, I was sort of fudging a little bit. I may or may not submit them. I mean, certainly I have to list all the crimes. Depending on what's in the police report, I may or may not submit it right away. I may wait for them to ask for it. But I should correct that. Generally, if the instructions say to submit the records, you should submit the records. But if you're going to bring them to the interview, or if you're going to wait for an RFE, I think there's a little bit of an art to it as to whether or not I would send it.
All right.
All right. That's it. All right. Thank you for making me clarify. I appreciate that. Bye, KK. That's what we call my sister, by the way, Carrie. We call her KK. How about that? All right. All right. Keep trying positive. I'm going to get you in here pretty quick. Let's go to Omran. Omran, what's up?
Hi, Jim. How's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
I was a guest in your show first time about 2 weeks ago. So I was like,
Awesome.
let me back, have some questions.
Okay, sure.
Again, about the records thing, which is very funny. Seems like everybody talking about it lately. I happened to arrest. Both of them are charged. One of them was a resistance of arrest, which is figured it out. You know, I was outside of a bar and there's a lot of things that was going on. So I got arrested, went to the court, was dropped right away. The other one, it was a true landlord situation where you wanted to leave. Anyway, the situation is both of them was dropped. I was thinking about doing expungement. Would that help?
Hold on. Dropped. So what does dropped mean? Does that mean that you went in front of a judge and they dismissed it? Does that mean you pled guilty and they amended it?
No. Dropped, which is mean it was found not guilty. They just stopped prosecuting the case and they call it no plaza something, like which says like it never happened.
Okay. So no finding of guilt on either charge.
Zero.
Did either charge involve an arrest or just citations?
Oh, no, arrest.
2 arrests.
Yes.
And charges dropped both times. Sorry about the balloons. Charges dropped both times.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
I was wondering like if that will be a problem when I file for my marriage-based green card situation.
No. I mean, they might add. Do any of the? Do either of the charges involve your spouse or your fiance?
No.
Yeah. No, those are just things you'll have to disclose, but that won't keep you. I have a video on expungements. I would leave the expungement alone until you get your citizenship, unless it's hurting you for some other reason. But immigration-wise, it makes it a little bit tricky unless you can get a complete copy of the police report and a complete certified copy of the dismissals, which you need anyway.
I do have it.
If you get those, then maybe expunge it. But really, I would wait until after you get your citizenship.
Yeah, the expungement thing is because it's like a Chicago police department, both of them. I live in Chicago. So it was easy for me to go to headquarters, which is like on South Michigan, and just file the form. 2 days later, boom, it just done. I was like, oh, that's not bad. But I was like thinking, I'm overthinking, all the immigrant overthinking about it.
As long as you have certified copies of everything, I'm cool with it.
Okay. The other thing also is my spouse did not file taxes for the past 2 years. And so they were in school. And they work for a little bit in the ship, like a cruise ship, and they were getting paid cash, I guess. I don't know. And they were making little minimum wage. Now they make a better job. The thing is, in affidavit of support, they will not be eligible to support me, right? At this point.
Well, here's the thing: they have to submit an affidavit of support. Okay. And on the affidavit, in order to get your case moving, they have to submit tax returns for the last 3 years. I believe that one of the ways they make sure that people pay their taxes is by requiring people who want to sponsor Amran for a green card to show that they have filed tax returns for the last 3 years. So nothing's going to happen, and that I-864 is going to go nowhere unless and until they've redone or done their taxes for those years. So that's point A. Then they might need a co-sponsor on top of that.
Okay. How about my sister? She's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, she can be the co-sponsor, but your spouse still needs to do the tax returns for those missing years. Otherwise, the case will freeze.
Wow. So like it won't go anywhere.
It'll freeze, and you won't get your work card.
I will get my only work card, you said.
You won't get your work card.
I see. Wow. But they didn't work pretty much like on the
Doesn't matter. Then file a zero tax return. Go see an accountant and file a zero tax return. That's fine with me. But there has to be the physical return, or they won't process your case. That's what I'm telling you.
But also, my sister, she's a U.S. citizen. Also, I can go through my sister.
But your spouse is the main sponsor, even if they have no income. They have to do what I'm telling you.
Okay. For the past 2 years, you said 3 years.
For 3 years, yeah.
Oh wow, that's a big deal, sort of, in a way, because
not really. If it's a zero tax return, those are pretty easy. Just get someone to do it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, bye, Imran.
Thank you.
See you, buddy. All right. We got about 15 minutes next. I'm going to go to Shayla. Hello, Shayla.
Hi, Jim. Thank you. Okay, so my husband and I have been married for 3 years. We married in August 2020. He was on an F1 visa. However, we waited 2 years to file because he was continuing his studies here in the state, and we wanted to kind of avoid the conditional green card situation since he didn't really need me to be here. So anyway, our receipt date was October 10th, 2020. And like I said, we'd already been married for 2 years at that point.
Mm-hmm.
We received an RFE for his medical evaluation. And that was, I want to say that was in April or May of 2023. So we submitted all the documentation, did the medical evaluation. He received his work authorization. So that's great. The only thing I'm concerned about now is, I know that there's a long wait time with this whole process, doing the adjustment of status and whatnot. It's like the processing times on the USCIS website. I know you said they're not the most reliable, and we've gotten down to like a week at a couple of different points. And then it says your case is taking longer than normal to process. Well, the problem that we're having, and I guess it's not a big problem, but I just kind of want to like know what you would recommend. We were wanting to travel out of the country this summer, and he doesn't have a travel permit. So I don't know what it would look like at this point if we were to file documentation for that. Like, do you have any advice?
So the problem with advanced parole is advanced parole takes about a year to get approved. So I don't mean to bust on you at all, but this is why I tell people, even if you have a valid F1, and even if, not applying for a green card because you don't want to worry about the removal of conditions is not the way to go. So it's too late now for you. So I'm just educating other people.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know what's going to happen. So there's really no reason to wait on your F1 when you're married to a U.S. citizen to file. The removal of conditions is not that big a deal. You don't save, even if you're doing everything yourself, you don't save that much money by not doing it the way. So I think probably you've confused them by waiting so long to file. And in fact, I hate to say it, I think they probably view that suspiciously that you waited that long, even though obviously
we never, I never sent in anything for like travel authorization. What did you say? It's called advanced parole. Like we never sent that in. I was just asking like what that would look like at this point. So it's just better to just kind of wait the whole process.
So what's the receipt date on the I-130 and the 45?
October 10th, 2022.
That's a long time, man. And what if you were to have an interview, what field office?
I'm thinking Jacksonville. That's the weird thing though, because when I've checked location and everything online for USCIS, it's kind of unclear because I think, let me pull up my document real quick. It says that it's out of, let's see, what does it say right here?
They are
Lee Summit, Missouri. So I don't know if we were one of those cases where they like exempt us from the interview because they sent us an RFE for the medical evaluation. We did it. And then they issued him his work authorization card. But they just haven't contacted us since. Like we haven't heard anything. So I don't know like what we should be thinking or be concerned about at this point.
So the way that I explain it to people on that front is the system wasn't built and designed for giving green cards away without an interview. So they are still working out the kinks of letting people get their green cards without an interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you might have gotten caught up in that. They might be a little bit weirded out by the fact that you didn't file relatively shortly after getting married, because I think in their mind that means there's something wrong with the marriage.
Oh, really?
Just because there's so many people that rush to file right away, you know. The problem is if you filed for advanced parole today, it would be 9 or 10 months. You'll probably get your green card before then. But we are getting close to the point of, man, this is crazy that this is taking so long, that there hasn't been an interview or a final decision, especially since you said they asked for the medical back in May.
Yeah, and the fact that they give him his work authorization. And then something else is, so my husband is going to be graduating with his PhD in May. And so right now he's in the process of looking for jobs, so that, you know, he has his work authorization, which is great. But then, you know, if we, you know, come March, April, or whenever he gets his job and we end up moving, we're also going to have to, you know, notify them of that change right away. And I know that puts another kink in things with, are they going to send the green card to the right place? Like, you know, what field office are they going to move us to? I don't know how all of that works, since ours just says that it's still being processed in Lee Summit.
Yeah, that's just the National Benefit Center. So, I mean, I would say, so when do you think you're going to move?
It's probably like June.
So I would say if you haven't heard something by the end of March, maybe call me back and we could sue them, try to get the green card before you move.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Thank you so much.
Bye, Shayla. Have a good day.
You too.
See ya. All right, let's go to Diana Love. Diana Love, are you there?
Yeah. Hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
So I came on January 20th in a B1, B2 visa. I got married to my spouse. He's a U.S. citizen in May, so about 100 days after I arrived. And well, I am planning on enrolling in college, but I don't want to complicate my case. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
Go for it.
Okay. And
No
like
problem.
another question is like thinking about the worst case scenario, and I had to like go back to my country. Can I continue studying online if I do an online degree?
Doesn't have anything to do with immigration. You do whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much.
That was easy.
Yeah.
See ya. All right, let's go to our friend Mohsen. What's up, Mohsen?
Hey Jim, you okay? Happy New Year.
Same.
I just calling up today. Thank you very much. I think there's just a bit of a lag on the internet connection here. I was just calling up basically. What it is that I've just been reading the policy manual here on the USCIS website, saying
You must be really bored.
note that if a divorce decree requires a waiting or revocable I know, just a little bit, yeah. So it says that note that if a divorce decree requires a waiting or revocable period that has not concluded, for example, an ISI period in a domestic decree or an IDA period in a foreign decree, the decree is not considered final and the marriage has not been legally terminated. I know you say sometimes we shouldn't take this as total gospel because sometimes they don't follow it. And
that shit's true. That's all true.
Okay.
Decree nisi or a separation or partial divorce. Those don't mean somebody's eligible to marry.
Okay, I see. So it says here, examples of evidence of a legally terminated marriage may include, but not limited to, a final decree of divorce, a decree of annulment, death certificate.
Why are we talking about this? What's the question?
Okay. My question is, so basically, if I get, for example, because I had a revocable divorce, and then I think I told you last time I got a document from the legal body to say that the IDA period has finished and my divorce is finished. I was just wondering if at any point, because you talk a lot about RFEs, if I get an RFE and they, for example, they don't accept my divorce, if I then get a court order confirming my divorce, we'll have to start my I-130 all over again. if the court order date is after my new marriage to the U.S. citizen?
If the court order is a declaration that the divorce was valid back then before the marriage on the I-130, no. If the court order is a new decree of divorce, yes, that would be a problem, because then that means you weren't divorced when you got married to the U.S. citizen.
Yeah, I'm just trying to sort of like, get as much backup here as I can. So I was just wondering, would I have to do that?
If you think you need to do that, start on that now, but don't spend Saturday afternoon reading the adjudicator's field manual or the USCIS manual. That's just going to drive you crazy.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, if that does happen, I mean, I'll start on it now. But what it is that the U.S. citizen, my new partner, she wants to get married in May. And then I was also wondering if
I would make damn sure that my divorce is valid. Otherwise, you're just wasting time.
Right. Okay. I see. I was wondering, can I maybe send you some of my documents just to have a quick scan through? They're all in English. No. Okay.
Thanks, Mosin. See you, buddy.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm going to try to get to Positive Energy just because it's the end of the show and they've been trying to get on. Positive, you there?
Hey, nice to meet you today, finally.
What's up?
I have a quick question, if it's not possible. I'm Norwegian citizen, so I come to the state 2017, and I married American citizen. Have a long history, so I apply a green card, and USCI they come visiting morning 5 o'clock about 3 years ago. We check and ask so many questions where he working, and they meet him out when he was way to work. My husband.
Hold on. You're saying you had a pending green card application. USCIS showed up your house at around 5 a.m?
Yes.
And then when they came, your spouse wasn't there?
He was just out. They meet him parking lot. And when they didn't ask anything to him, they come inside, and that was he forget something. And I said, "You have your key. Why you didn't come?" And he say, "Hey, USCI," and ask edification or something. And he say, "Yeah, it was 2 men." They come inside. I checked my husband cloud and bathroom, shaving machine, and what he drinking, what I'm drinking.
Okay. So when was that? When did they come?
One was it was 2019 when my green card was pending.
Okay, so did you get your green card?
Yeah, I get the 10 years green card.
Awesome.
Thank you. And last year I apply citizen. I get interview July 22nd last year.
Yeah.
And after I finished the interview, the English text and all that, the officer tell me, "What your husband doing?" I say, he's truck driver, so he traveling all 50 states. But when he's off, he's home. Where you working? All kind of thing. So he tell me, your husband have high criminal record. How you didn't know it? And I say, first of all, he's not teenager that I'm mom. So they can, if he don't want to let me, what problem he have, I can't, there's no way I can find out. Then he say he have a girlfriend who live Minneapolis. He have lease. He have a totally different history that I don't know what at all. I said, that's new. I don't know what. He said he have a card. He was in jail. He was violent with his girlfriend. How you didn't know that? I said, I never know it.
You mean while you were married or before you were married?
No, this year. Last year after when I got the interview for the citizenship, the officer tell me that.
Right, but did the officer say these things happened while you were married or before you were married?
Yes, that time I was married with him. He asked me how is he sleep every night home. I say no, he have CDL license, transportation. We have a truck, so he drive it.
Let me just make sure.
Okay.
So when you got your green card, did you have an interview?
Yes, I have.
And with your husband, he came?
He come, yeah, and they separated with us, and
That was my next question. So they separated you.
yeah,
And then what was the start date on your green card? When did you get that?
I get February 2020,
Did they give you a 2-year green card or a 10-year green card?
10-year green card.
Because you've been married more than 2 years.
Yeah, I married 2017, 2020 February that I get 10 years green card.
So then you wait 3 years and you apply for citizenship based on the 3-year rule because you're married to a U.S. citizen.
Yes, correct.
And then you get called in for your naturalization interview. And while you're sitting there trying to figure out if you get your citizenship, did your husband come with you to that interview?
No.
And so the officer says, "Hey, lady, you've had your green card from 2020 to 2023. We have records that show that your husband got arrested and had a criminal crime up in Minneapolis with some other woman who he said was his girlfriend at the time that you and he were married. Is that right?"
Correct.
And was this the first that you heard about this, about the girlfriend and the arrest and all? Like before that, you didn't know he'd been arrested? You didn't know he had a girlfriend in Minnesota?
Correct. I don't.
Where do you live?
I live Minnesota, Mercado.
Oh, so not that far, just all within the same state.
Yeah, it's 1 hour and 30-minute driving.
Okay. So then the officer said we can't make a decision on your N400?
Correct. He said we can't make decision. We're gonna send you mail, so you're gonna wait something. And after 2 months, he sent me paper that say we need at least where you living, and in last 3 years a document for the tax paper.
Wait, hold on. Before we get to that, what did you say to your husband when you got out of your interview?
What, huh? Say again, please.
When you got out of your naturalization interview, where this officer said that your husband had a girlfriend up in Minneapolis and that he got arrested, did you call your husband and yell at him?
Absolutely. I couldn't wait to finish the interview. As soon as I finished it, before even I come back, I called him. He said he was in Texas. I say, "Hey, are you driving or you stay?" He tell me he stay somewhere, and I tell everything, and he say, "That's not true." And he harassed me and this, and I say, "How he harassed me? How he know you?" That is, don't know what to true and what to believe. I was disappointed. But
so hold on. If he got arrested at this girlfriend's house, then there would be police records that you could get from Minneapolis. Did you try and get those?
No, I didn't know what if I did not know that, and I know what this. They tell me one my friend. I asked something like that, and she said, "Tell me if he not allowing you, the U.S. police did not giving you any other person document or records."
Right. So what about the marriage? Are you guys getting divorced, or what's the deal?
And now I thinking, I see my website is say pending. The USCID sent me paper that all documented that I need, where
So
he was living.
You need to withdraw that I-1. You need to withdraw the N400.
Excuse me, Han, what do you say?
You need to withdraw your N400. You need to withdraw it. You need to cancel it. You need to write them a letter and say, "I don't want to move ahead on the 3-year rule anymore. I'm going to reapply on the 5-year rule." You're still going to have problems, but there's no way in hell if he's a truck driver and having a girlfriend up in Minneapolis, you don't want that as part of your case. That's his fucking situation. That's not your situation. You need to withdraw your N400 today.
That's what I was trying to. I work in 7 morning to 5, so or 4 sometimes. So every time I try to come this show to asking you, I didn't get chance. But thanks God today I get. So I thinking when I see my website, immigration site, you say your case to get decision is 2 months left. And I'm confused. And he blocked me now when I say, because I found it, everything the officer tell me, he denied it. And then the apartment he live in, have his list. I visited, a landlord tell me, yes, he was living here, that I didn't know it. No,
Okay.
he moved.
So here's, if I were your lawyer, this is what I would do. If I was your lawyer, this is what I would do. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Number one, first thing, I would withdraw the N-400.
Okay.
That case is over. Number two, I would divorce that guy.
I will definitely think that, but I don't know advice. I don't know this country, so that's why I contact you.
And then number three, I would track down all of his records. You could hire a private investigator. We can get the records if he got arrested. We can get those records. And then
I really wanna need help, and I wanna contact you or you and your teams. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm not from this country. I have nothing knowledge who.
I'm not done. Then the fourth thing I would do is I would request a complete copy of your file from USCIS while we wait for the 5 years, and that way we can get a copy of what they found, or we can try to get a copy of what they found, or at least where they looked. So, Mike, can you see the screen right now?
Yes.
That's my email right there, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com.
Thank you. And I find out now that he don't have a transportation license, CDL, that he tell me that somebody who drive in his car.
Wow. So we need to, here's the problem. We need to make him the bad guy. Right now, they think you're part of the bad guy. We need to make him the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? So we need to hit him in the mouth so that when you reapply, you can say, thank you, USCIS, for telling me about my husband's cheating ways. Right now, they think that you got your green card from somebody who you weren't really married to.
He was thinking, how stupid are we? He told me that my husband had an apartment in Minneapolis, that when he moved out, the electric company even sent me his bill here, that we have I called the company electric and I asked him, where come from this bill, and say that your husband have other apartment in Minneapolis, the same.
So he asked you like little by little, and then he gave you the big punch at the end. Yeah.
So Jim, now I need help, so I decided this man is not the man I married, and I will divorce, period. And I'm independent woman. I work all my life. I don't need anything, but he was not honest to me. So that's why
I can help you. I can help you. I know a divorce lawyer up there too, so I can help you. I have friends in Mankato, so I can help with that too. It won't be us.
Really and I want to help. I need help, please. The immigration, how I gonna contact you to tell that?
We can do that. Okay. All right. Send me an email and make sure you put your full name and your cell number.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I have a family friend who live in Africa, so I tell Jim he's migration lawyer, so he can help him. So I tell that your information, your team, and you helping, and they come all to Washington D.C. and we enjoy it.
Thanks so much for the call. That was. I'm glad you got on with me today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love it.
Now that's something you don't hear every day. You don't hear people finding out that their husband's cheating on them when they're at their naturalization interview. That's fucked up. That is really fucked up. I feel bad for her. I'm glad she has got some positive energy. Woo! That'll be a doozy. I hope she hires us because I would like to work on that case, even though I don't handle cases myself anymore. But it's an interesting one. All right, everybody, that'll do it. We went a little long, but that was quite a story. We had to figure out what was what. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration attorney practicing law throughout the United States at our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. Our next show will be on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Central. See you guys then. Hopefully the Jets will lose tomorrow so that we get a better draft pick. Bye, everybody.